and welcome to our program Where God Weeps. Today we focus on Angola. Angola is the most Catholic country in Africa, with over 55% professing the Catholic faith. But the bad news is that there are only 400 diocesan priests. To tell us more about the Catholic Church in Angola, it is my pleasure to introduce to you today Bishop Vicente Carlos of the Mbanza Congo Diocese. Welcome, Bishop, and thank you for being with us.
Hello, thank you.
How come there are so many Catholics in Angola?
I think because Angola was under the Portuguese. Portuguese country is a Catholic country, so during the colonialist time, the Portuguese with the missionaries preached the gospel, preached the Catholic religion, so we are Catholics.
That's the one side, and then the other side there are only very few priests. How come?
In my diocese, I don't know exactly for the reason, because the first diocese in Africa was in my diocese, Mbanza Congo. So the presence of the gospel is more than 500 years. But the situation now is not very good. For example, we have only 6 diocesan priests and 10 religious priests.
So there are not many vocations, not many priests. That means the lay people have a big role to play in the Catholic Church.
Of course, but we need to prepare very well these lay people. This is the problem. Without priests, it's quite impossible to prepare them. We have some good catechists, but the lay people, according to me, they need more instruction, and they need also to have awareness of their role in the church, because some expecting only from the sister, from the priest. They used to go to the church, but they need do more for the church.
The first challenge we face is the great shortage of missionaries and priests. The majority of our 14 parishes have no priest. We have many parishes where serving priests are elderly. On the other hand, the diocese had up to now no organizational structures of its own, enabling it to train priests. That was one of our great dilemmas. How to train priests locally, instill in them a love of diocese and the ability to identify with this nation, put down roots here and seek to evangelize it. That is why, in spite of many difficulties, we decided to set up a propaedeutical seminary. Next year we want to open an intermediate seminary. There are areas that have had no missionary for over 30 years. Last year we visited a certain community, a populous and animated community that had never taken part in a mass.
Então vamos fazer como sempre fazemos assim um pequeno encontro, né? Já fizemos há poucos dias, mas agora
Our second priority is training catechists. We run an itinerant catechist education course that aims to alphabetize, but also to teach participants how to build a chapel, recite morning and evening prayers, how to encourage various community groups to greater activity, and how to teach the catechism. Parishes, for example, number 130 communities, and so the number of catechists oscillates around the 200 mark. In such situations, catechists are both guides and leaders of their respective communities.
What kind of people live in your diocese? Are they poor people? Do they live from farming?
A majority are poor people, living from farmers, farming. But we have also some rich people in the Soyo city. We have a lot of oil in that city, but the people who works in the oil company came from Europe, from America, but they are not very much involved in the life of the people, in the church. But the majority of people, of course, poor, and we have an impression that among the province in Angola is not in the priority of the government. We don't have jobs in our diocese, in our province. The only job is to become to have a farmer.
So what do you need then in your diocese, in your province?
For example, just a few months ago, I started the university there. This is a very, very, very good thing. But my wish is to have also industry. Otherwise, we lost all the young people. Because without jobs, it's impossible. We need electricity, we need potable water, a lot of things. Development we need.
The majority of our population is rural. They live off the land as well as from fishing, because though there is no sea, there are many rivers and lakes, vast areas that become submerged in the rainy season. However, this is not only a poor area, but also a forgotten one. We have no trains and no good roads to transport our goods to other parts of the country. The majority of our people have no electricity supply. There are great difficulties with access to education. The majority still cannot read or write. For example, many people here earn $100 a month, whilst the price of a sack of cement can reach 50 euros. In other words, one wage packet is worth 2 sacks of cement. Many things are lacking here. There are practically no paved roads here. There are places with incredible mud, sand, whole tracts of sand, potholes big enough to damage a car and even throw it upside down. Bridges. We survived many difficult situations on bridges, including the threat of falling into the abyss, down a crevice, as well as into a river. Crossing rivers, sometimes without a bridge or unstable, dangerous ones, is a challenge. One must like adventure. If not, things could become somewhat difficult.
You need development for your province, but what is your hope for the Catholic Church?
For the Catholic Church, my hope is to help the people to do the better, because we need the formation for the people, and the people, I think, with good formation will do the better. Sometimes it's good to remember the people that it's possible to have a good life, not continuous always with traditional life. I think my impression sometimes is the Angolan people, African people, are happy in this situation, and we are not doing enough to go ahead to live better. And with the good formation, I think the people will change the mentality, because one of the challenges is to change the mentality.
But you yourself, you are from Angola.
Yes,
Have
I
you
am.
changed your own mentality already?
I think so. I think so. And it's important for us, not only bishop, for the priests, sisters, and other men. We have a lot of influence to the local people.
I learned a lot from people. I believe that my faith became far more alive within me. And trust. One sometimes trusts in one's own ability to achieve much. I learned then to trust God more. We have 14 parishes, some very far-flung. However, the chief characteristic is that in their majority they are in ruins. Mission houses, day schools, boarding schools, and of course the churches. Practically not a single new church has been built in the last 30 years.
In 1950, two priests arrived here, Fathers Bonifacio and Pedro, who were also the first missionaries to come here. There was also Brother Salvadore and later Father Antonio Ferreta. They worked hard together with us, built many chapels, and founded communities. There was a community in every district. In 1970 they began building this church, completed by 1974. But when the war began, everything was destroyed. Between 1981 and 82. Yes, between. They destroyed all this between those years. They dynamited all the surrounding buildings and buried people over there. Here, under this mangrove? Yes. Here within the mission grounds, they buried people next to the priest's house. The missionaries left because they saw that they were cut off from the rest of the world. The conflict was very violent. They could not stay here on their own, especially as there was no one left. No people. Everybody had run away.
So, Mr. Lingus, from what you know, how long has this place not had a priest?
Very long.
There was no priest here from 1974?
1974 until 2006.
And what did you do through all that time to maintain the faith in people here without a priest?
There was no priest, but catechists always kept an eye on everything.
Saíram aqui em 1999. Mukuya mu Zambia. Zambia tunakaa mo 4 anos.
These people, the Moshiko people, have more than any other felt the consequences of this war. What remains are a people crippled, with a life of limited prospects. They believe that they have lost the best years of their lives. That is sad, even sadder than to die in battle, because to die is straightforward, understandable, whilst for a person to live without any internal conviction, during a war, only survival seems to have any value. Life is often very threatened. We lived through many situations, in a variety of circumstances, where I lived another moment, while someone else died, offered their life. This is hard, for example, for a mother who in a short span of 6 months witnessed the death of her 4 sons. That is much to bear. Yet she had to continue the fight, for she has 3 or 4 others that continue to live. That is war, deeply humiliating for people. What proved most difficult on many occasions after the war had ended was to believe that there was any inner conviction amongst the people that life could be lived to the full, could be happy. Many people no longer believe, but God believes in them, and so we must show that God truly breathes in people, that man is in his heart.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and we are talking on our program today with the Bishop from Angola, Bishop Vicente Carlos. You are a fairly new ordained bishop. How was it to become a bishop?
It's very difficult for me. It was difficult also to accept, but in obedience of the Pope, I am trying to do the better for the church in Angola.
So you had no possibility to say no?
No possibility, because for us, when the Pope asked us for one service, it's impossible to say no.
Your people in Angola heard about the news that you would become a bishop. Were they all very happy and singing on the streets?
Yes, very, very happy. I was surprised when I arrived in Angola, in my diocese. A lot of people came to receive me at the airport. So for me it was kind of encouragement to go ahead.
And what did you choose as your motto?
My motto is in humility and charity. You know, I am Capuchin, so normally the friars are very, very humble, simple. I want to work with humbly and also with charity, because charity is a major virtue for us, the Christian. So I think according to my character, according to my vocation as a Capuchin, I choose this motto.
And may I ask you why you became a Capuchin friar?
It's very difficult to tell why. But I think, but first of all, was a call from God. But the Capuchins, for many years, they were the only missionaries in my country. But also because the Capuchins are the friars of the people. So the simplicity, they used to work with the people without any problem. I think this is the main reason.
But now you're a bishop and you suddenly have to live in a bishop's house with a lot of things around you.
Yes, because when I was in Rome, we were 40 brothers, and now we are only 2. And for 1 year, I was alone. Brotherhood for us as a Capuchins is important, but to live alone is not good.
So it has been a cross already, being a bishop.
This is the first cross. But I hope in the future to implement for the diocesan priests fraternal life.
So that's already your first project as a bishop?
Yes, my first project, work to the vocation and to implement the fraternal life. And also important for us to build the school of catechists. For 10 years, the school was closed. Well, now we need to open and to formate the catechists.
Thank you very much, Bishop Vicente Kiaziku, for this interview, and we hope the best for the Catholic Church in Angola.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching our program Where God Weeps. And if you want to know more on how you can help the Catholic Church in Angola, then please log on to our website, which is posted at the end of our program. And we hope to see you again next week. Take care.